Hello, everybody. This is Douglas O'Clair, online as Joff. I own the company Logical Graphs, and for this video, we're going to be talking about the Sumo Vault. I'm going to talk about what it is. I'm going to talk about my strategy around it. I'm going to talk about that it's an experiment. It's not a very serious investment, um, although some of the things that Sumo have said have been very serious, and have had serious results. Um, and going to talk about how I'm managing the Sumo Vault. Okay, so let's take a look. So if you go to my blog, there is a link to something called the Sumo Vault, and I will share this link in the description. And what you see here is that Sumo is one of the whales in cryptocurrency, and he's been a maxi on Kujira for quite a while, since it broke off from Terra and perhaps before. And so he has quite a large bag of Kuji that's staked, and he's made other predictions about other tokens. So at the end of the year, he said, hey, these are the cryptocurrencies that I predict are going to be of the following values. Now, some of these aren't serious, or maybe none of these are serious. Don't know. But what if they were? What if Sumo's predictions come true for all of them? If you invested $1,000 into each of these cryptocurrencies that Sumo is talking about, and they are specifically Kuji, Luna, Unstake, Sumo, which doesn't exist yet, Astro, and Stars. If you invested $1,000 into each of these, and at the current price points, and they go to the predicted prices that Sumo has laid out back in December 12th, you would have how much? Well, I wrote a spreadsheet to say how much. Now, his original tweet, I have it marked, so you can go to it and look at it yourself. And then I'll also talk about KP's tweet in a minute. But let's look at the Sumo Vault. So what I did was I laid out the cryptocurrencies that Sumo is talking about, excluding Sumo's cryptocurrency itself because it doesn't yet exist. I laid out how much I bought it for, and I laid out how much Sumo is predicting these prices to go to. Now, if you follow that logic, then you have how much I invested and what the predicted price is to get a result of this. And so if you invest in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens, that's $5,000 investment. At the end of the year, say, given that all those prices go to what Sumo's predictions are, then you would have nearly $100,000. That's not bad for a $5,000 investment. Well, it does Sumo bat 1,000. This is just an experiment. So let's say he does bat 1,000, then it would be $100,000. The thing I don't like about predictive analytics at all, and that's why I'm an a priori analyst, not an a posteriori analyst. I look at trends that have happened up to this point, and I do analytics on that, as opposed to saying in 6 months this is going to happen or that is going to happen. Why? Because there's no consequence to making these predictions. People say this token is going to go up to this price, and nobody holds their feet to the fire. So what I'm doing is I'm saying, let's say Sumo's prediction is right. So I'm tracking from the date of his prediction to now, is he making a good prediction or is it, not working out? Let's say all five of them hit, you get $100,000 at the end of the year. That's not bad for investing $5,000 at the beginning of the year to get $100,000 out of that. Let's say he's right for only four of them. Then you get $80,000 out of that, meaning that in a $5,000 investment, you get $80,000. You've made $75,000 profit in a year's time. Let's see, he's right with three of them. That means you make $60,000 or a total profit of $55,000. That's an 11 times growth of your investment, folks. Again, this is just an experiment. This isn't a serious investment. This is just having fun. So we're having fun. Sumo had fun, made a prediction based upon what he knows about those blockchains and about those tokens. And wouldn't it be great if those tokens went to that level? That's what Sumo's saying. So I'm saying, sure, let's go with it. And let's create an investment portfolio around that idea. Because why? Because back in the heydays of Terra, Cephii posted a tweet that said, from the arbitrage I'm doing on Luna and burning B Luna to Luna, I could pay some of your mortgages. That's when I really started to learn because that got my attention. Here's somebody who is making a serious amount of money in cryptocurrency, sharing what he knew and what he was doing. And I started doing that. And that's how I started learning from people who knew more about the cryptocurrency, about which they were talking about, who are actually doing the work and freely sharing the information that they had gained for what benefit. It's not so that they could become richer. It's because they became rich doing this and they're sharing their techniques, showing that they did it. If you do the same thing and you accumulate and build up to a whale level too, you can do that too. Sumo's doing the same thing. So that's part of my investment research is to see people who are doing better in the domains that I'm doing. And if they're sharing information on how they're doing it, see what they're doing and see if there's a way that I can replicate doing that. That's the Sumo Vault in a nutshell. Okay. So if he's right about three of the five, then you get 11 times your investment in profit. If he's right about two of the five, that makes $35,000 total. You net $30,000 out of $5,000 investment net. Okay. So that's a 6 times growth over the period of a year. What if he's right about only one of these? What if he's right about Luna only? And Luna goes from 95 cents, it's gone down quite a bit, to $9. Well, then you've made nearly $10,000. So on an initial investment of $5,000, you've made another $5,000 on top of that, meaning that if he's right in only one of them, and on the weakest one at that, you still double your money in a year. Now, in cryptocurrency, the rates of return are tremendously high that are published. You're making APY of 5,000 or something like that. But how much money do you make in reality? Doubling your money in a year is amazing in any investment strategy. A lot of people put money into cryptocurrency and lose a lot of money, no matter what the published APY says or what the published APR says. This approach, Sumo's Vault, is you buy this bag of cryptocurrency. You buy Kuji, Luna, Unstake, Astro, and Stars, and you just put it into a wallet and you hold on to it. So you're not doing anything wild and crazy with it. And it's simply upon the appreciation of the price of the cryptocurrency based upon the value that Sumo sees in these protocols that will make your money by the end of the year. That's the approach. Okay, so $5,000 of investment with these five cryptocurrencies will get you $95,000 total if all of Sumo predictions are spot on. And I went through the numbers when if he weren't spot on. But then you see this additional amount here. And this is me. So there's a space between these two, and I'll make this space explicit. That says, okay, well, I'm personally also looking at Roar, Fusion, Wink, and Manta. I'm saying uh, the Lion DAO has been doing crazy amount of work in the Terra sphere and also on Migloo and also in Kujira. Fusion is an active protocol inside Kujira that's not by one of the developers of the Kujira blockchain. That's pretty amazing. Wink, I don't know much about it, but I do know that people are talking about it. Of course, Wink is the cryptocurrency around Kuji Cast, and they are doing a lot of work and reporting on and doing work inside Kujira. Manta, the Manta DAO is the efficient approach to doing trades from one cryptocurrency to another in Kujira using Fin marketplaces, finding the best routes that if you don't know your way around the Fin marketplace, it sets up the most efficient route for you to trade your, for example, Ethereum to a stable or um, Atom to Kuji or something like that. Using as many order books as it takes in the most efficient trade that it can find. And so a lot of people are using Manta as the decentralized exchange for Kuji, and they have poured a lot of liquidity into the Fin marketplace, so much so that the Fin marketplace was um, below $1 million worth of liquidity before Manta came along. And none of the order books were above $100,000 in 24-hour volume. Manta doubled the size of Fin by adding their own sets of order books and then added a ton of liquidity to those order books that they added so that now the daily 24-hour numbers from Kujira are like this. Let's take a look. Nearly 300,000, 400,000. 500,000, 600,000, 700,000, 750,000 on the top six order books in Fin. And none of these mention Manta at all, by the way. This is a side effect of Manta's huge influx of liquidity into Team Kujira's Fin marketplace, so that all the order books that are active around tokens that people want to swap, USDC, Kuji, USK, Axel USDC, and Kuji. So mostly Kuji, mostly stables. But because Manta has an efficient way of swapping between one and the other that takes the complication out of your hands, um, that has generated a huge amount of volume in the Fin marketplace, which Manta sits on top of, so that they're also generating liquidity on their own protocol. Got excited about talking about Manta. But so I said, Manta is another one. But lo and behold, let's take a look at this. KP said, look, Kuji, Wink, Fusion, Unstake. So I picked Wink and Fusion as coins that I'd like to follow in my Sumo vault. KP, who is one of the team members in Team Kujira, said Wink and Fusion. Take a look at that. And then I added Manta and Roar because I have very strong feelings about both of those protocols. They're protocols inside blockchains, but they're very active and generate quite a lot of liquidity inside the blockchains within their protocols. And they're helping blockchains outside of the ones that where they're hosted at, particularly Roar. Roar has grown from a slice out of Terra to participating in Miglu and also in Kujira. So that's why I also added those two tokens to my Sumo vault. So it's really not a Sumo vault. It's really not 100% Sumo vault, but the concept is this. Sumo stated that five, actually six tokens would be bangers over the next year. And so I said, okay. And I collected those five tokens, put them into a wallet, and am simply monitoring their price movement, doing a little bit else here and there as well. So if you look at the spreadsheet here, you see that I haven't really accumulated everything for this vault to be, a starting point. For example, Kuji and Luna, I have $1,000 worth of each in my Sumo vault. Unstake, I have nearly $1,000 worth. Um, it's funny because Unstake started at 28 cents. It's down to 13 cents. So I'm buying Unstake at 50% off right now. Astro, I have hardly any Astro in my vault. And the point of this video is that I collected some Astro and I'm going to move it into the Sumo vault. And so we're going to go through that as an exercise. Stars, I have $1,000 worth of stars in my Sumo vault. So I have 3 out of the 5 already filled out into the Sumo vault, and two more I'm accumulating for my auxiliary tokens in the Sumo vault. You see that I have $1,000 worth of Manta in the Sumo vault, and I have to add Wink and Fusion and Roar in order to fill out. But what I did was at the incept date, I recorded their prices and then calculated how many tokens, how many tokens I would need to have a completed Sumo vault. And then once my target was reached, I mark it in green. And if my target isn't reached, I show how much I have, how many more tokens I have to accumulate based upon the December 12th prices to get me into the range of having $1,000 worth of each token in my Sumo vault. Now, since Sumo didn't predict the prices for any of these auxiliary tokens, I just put question marks besides them, meaning that if Roar goes up to a penny, then my Sumo vault is going to be a huge success, but it's not based upon Sumo's prediction, so it doesn't go to the prediction column. But it'll be really nice if Aurora goes up, if Fusion goes up, if Wink goes up, and Manta goes up. Something else about this, interesting about this vault, and that's this. This vault also tells you, based upon Sumo's prophecy prediction, which tokens are performant and which tokens are underperformant. So for example, Kuji was $5 at the end of last year. It's down to $3 now. It's even less than this price right now. So the $1,000 worth of Kuji that I invested is now $600 and or less. So that tells me that Kuji's price is below target, meaning that these tokens that are highlighted in red are bargains for me to buy if I want to buy them based upon Sumo's prediction. Meaning that if I'm going to have this predicted price for Kuji, $124, its current price of $3.10 is below $124. So it's underperforming. Not only that, but it's below the starting price that I bought. So if I buy more Kuji now, I'm buying Kuji at a discount. This only applies if you believe that Kuji is going to be worth more than what it is currently. If Kuji is not, if you're like, you're not a Kuji maxi, you don't believe in Kuji, then don't buy it, right? If you're saying, well, Kuji was 40 cents 8 months ago, and now it's $3.10, I don't think it's going to go up any further. If that's your view, then don't build your vault around tokens that you don't believe are of value. Buy tokens that you believe are of value, and then the token will rise to that value. So for example, I have an FBEF vault. And so I'm accumulating Ethereum and Bitcoin into my Cardona Indigo portfolio and staking Ethereum and Bitcoin there. And earning 23% for my stakes. Because I believe both Ethereum and Bitcoin are tokens of value. Same thing for this Sumo Vault. This Sumo Vault, based upon the prediction that Sumo made back on December 12th, and based upon my own observation as well, I'm in agreement with these predictions. I'm saying that Kuji has utility. Luna has utility. Unstake has utility. Astro has utility. Stars has utility. Roar, Fusion, Wink, Manta all have utility. I believe that these tokens are tokens of value. They're not shitcoins, right? They're not protocol tokens that don't have any intrinsic value. These tokens have intrinsic value. What are their intrinsic value? Let's go to Roar. There's a trillion Roar out there, burned down to 900 billion or so. But Roar represents the work that the DAO is and Ryan is putting into the protocol and the community. There's NFTs associated with it. There are LPs associated with it. There are now projects being funded with Roar liquidity. Roar is now or AMP Roar is now a collateral on Migaloo, particularly on Ginkgo. So on Ginkgo, you can let's see. You can provide AMP Roar and borrow USDC against it to fund projects from AMP Roar, used as collateral to give you USDC borrowed, meaning that meaning that Roar amplified by AmpRoar now has utility not only on the Terra blockchain, but also on the Migalo blockchain. And there's also the Roar LP on Team Kujira, which has incentive, as well as the Roar USK order book on Fin. Roar is, in my opinion, a token that has value. And so that's why I have it in my Sumo Vault. Okay. So that's what the Sumo Vault is. Now on my blue protocol, you see that I have collected some Astro that was yielded from an LP that I had on Astroport in Terra. So I'm going to transfer that over to my Sumo Vault. So I'll get my Sumo Vault address. And transfer these tokens over to the Sumo Vault. And I record this transaction. Jira to Vault. Surcharge. Get the price on Astro by switching to my Sumo Vault. So we go to Sumo, refresh blue, and we see that Astro is 22 cents per. Okay, so I transferred $46. That's correct. Okay, so I've just transferred Astro to my Sumo Vault, 211 tokens of it. What I do is I go to my Sumo spreadsheet, and at my Sumo spreadsheet, I have a log of, do that, of tokens that I transfer in or transfer out or whatever. This is the 5th. Transaction ID is this. Number of tokens. Amount is 0 because that was a yield. And so okay, so let's create a new row in my report. See, since I'm just holding these tokens, there's not a lot of activity I need to record. The activity I record is when I buy tokens because of arbitrage trade that I did, or because there were yields and that's adding to my accumulation or whatever. So there's not a lot that I need to do with this Sumo Vault. Just shepherd the tokens and keep the latest prices up to date. So let's get the Kuji price. is now 311. Gucci values down to $600. Luna price. Here, what is this? Very interesting. Ah, I think that's well, we'll figure that out eventually. But let's look at the Luna price. That is 63 cents. So up a bit from the last recording, but still that was $1,000. Long way to go for profitability. Unstake. Is 11 cents per. Down some. Astroport, it's 22 cents per, down some. But I now have more Astroport. I have amount here. That was just given to me in yields. So even though the price has gone down slightly, or by 10%, that's not slightly, I still have more Astroport, Astro accumulated. So its value has gone up slightly. Stars, same amount of stars. The price is here. Where's the price of stars? Here it is. About the same price. Oops. But it's actually worth more than what I bought it for. So that's cool. Roar. Roar is trading on Fin at this value here. Down some. So Roar is a bargain right now. Fusion. Trading at 7 cents. It's up a bit. Wink. Oops. Is it here? 11 cents. Same price. Manta. Now I have QC Manta, which is not priced. But if we go to the Manta Dow, will I get the price there? I do. 70.3 cents. Found some. So the total invested is how much money I've put into this vault. Total value. So total invested is 5,200. Total value is 4,400. So I'm down quite a bit. And so that's what I record. This shows how much I invested versus the value itself. The value was higher before. Now the value is quite a bit lower. This shows the percentage of my portfolio represented by each token. So since stars has gone up in value and the other tokens have gone down in value, stars is a larger percentage of the portfolio. And as the prices change, these values will change. Also note that Wink, Fusion, Roar, Astro, and Unstake, I don't fully have $1,000 worth of each token in this vault yet. I'm growing these bags until they'll be $1,000 each, as represented by December 12th prices. And then so this pie chart will change as the representations of these tokens change as well. Okay. And then so I've recorded the changes to my portfolio layout. I recorded that I got some Astro. I've added that Astro to the total amount of Astro. That reflects here. So you see that I have, it was before like something like 4,100 Astro I still have to accumulate. It's down to 3,800 Astro I still have to accumulate. I've only invested $100 worth into Astro, but the actual value of Astro is $150. So Astro is above its starting price, which is cool. And the target here is $13,000 on a $1,000 investment. So this would grow to $1,300 if I just keep it at $100. My target is to get it up to $1,000 to get that value up to $13.7 thousand. Okay, so I have my portfolio. Then what I do is the following. I've established a vault on the 16th. So about 4 days after Sumo made his prediction, I started accumulating this vault. I take these charts and I grab this report. Now, undervalued assets, check this out. I have a program that if you look at this, it says if H12 is less than L12, then show that the token is below value. What is H12 and F12? Kuji, actual value is $600, invested is $1,000. So I invested $1,000 in, it's worth $600 now. So what I'm saying is that Kuji is an undervalued asset along with Luna, along with Endstake, but not Astro, not Stars. But Roar is, and Fusion is, but not Wink, and Manta is undervalued as well. So I can use Sumo's Vault simply by following the patterns of the prices to say that since I invested this much and it's worth this much, then this token is undervalued if I believe that this token is a token of value and will appreciate to its true price based upon its value. Given that condition, then Kuji is currently at a really good bargain price right now. I can say the same thing for Luna. I can say the same thing for Unstake. Unstake is, I've got $370 worth. I invested $450 worth. So Unstake is a little bit undervalued. Astro, however, is doing better than my investment. So Astro is overvalued? No, because the target price for Astro is $3 and it's currently sitting at 22 cents, meaning that it's not too late to get in. Meaning that if you buy Astro now at 22 cents, and given that Sumo's prediction is correct, you're going to see more than a 10 times appreciation, given that you invest in Astro. Similarly for Stars. Stars is sitting at 3.6 cents. I invested $1,000. It's worth $1,100. Given Sumo's prediction of 80 cents per stars is correct, you will see a 10, 20 times appreciation in value. These are forward-looking statements that do not accurately 100% predict the future, but let's say that he's 50% right. If he's 50% right and it goes up to 40 cents, that's still a 10 bagger. And where do you find a 10 bagger? an investment in reality. You can say, oh, has 1,000% APY. But what do you really have after a year in investment? That is the purpose of this Sumo Vault, to see, given a starting point of December 12th, Sumo's and prediction and KP's prediction, I invested into these tokens. I'm just going to hold on to these tokens. And a year later, I'm going to look at my Vault wallet address and say, where were they right? Where were they wrong? What did I make out like gangbusters? Was this a good investment? And we'll go from there. So I copied those spreadsheets. Now this is great. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to file a report. And the report includes links to the prediction tweet, the archive, and the spreadsheet, current value, still money still to acquire, and the target value. So let's rock and roll. And I also put this into my blog. Let's publish this. And then I go to my Sumo Vault page, update these data, update these charts. And then I'll also share, as you see here, I'll also share the undervalued tokens that my vault is saying is such. So I grab these. And add that as a tweet. Eh, and put that onto the blog as well. Update that page, and we are done. Again, this is just Sumo saying, I recognize value in these tokens. There's no guarantees in any of this. But based upon my experience with Sumo's investments, if I had invested into Kuji when Sumo said Kuji was something worth investing in, um, my portfolio would look very different than what it looks today. So I'm taking that experience, and with Sumo's new information that he posted December 12th, I'm saying, hey, I'm just going to put a little bit of my portfolio into this vault of tokens that Sumo predicted will go up to these prices. And if they go up to those prices, great. Made nearly $100,000. That's fantastic. And if they all go to zero, then I'll just be out $5,000 that I've invested. No big deal. Um, so yeah, that's what the Sumo Vault is. This is my spreadsheet on how I manage the Sumo Vault and my day-to-day activities, which is just to simply watch the tokens appreciate or depreciate. Um, look at how the tokens are performing, underperforming, or overperforming based upon the initial investment and the target investment, target value, and publish a report on whenever my portfolio changes. Thank you.